Hi! Today on Araw-Araw Filipino, we will learn about causative verbs. This time, the words make, require, and force. Causative verbs are verbs that show the cause of an action. In Filipino, mga pandiwa na nagpapakita ng sanhi ng aksyon. Verbs, mga pandiwa. That, na. Show, nagpapakita. Cause, sanhi. Of, ng. Action, aksyon. Here are some causative verbs. Have, get, make, force or require, and let or allow. This lesson will focus on make, force, and require. Let us begin with the word make. Here are some causative sentences using this word. Jane made me clean. Pinaglinis ako ni Jane. Made someone clean. Pinaglinis. Me, ako. And we say ni Jane. Ni is a possessive form. We put it in front of a person's name whenever the person owns the cause of the action. Jane is making me clean. Pinapaglinis ako ni Jane. Making someone clean, pinapaglinis. Jane will make me clean. Papaglinisin ako ni Jane. Will make someone clean, papaglinisin. And Jane wants to make me clean. Gusto ni Jane na paglinisin ako. Wants, gusto. To make someone clean, paglinisin. In all of these sentences, you should notice that the word clean is linis in Filipino. And the different tenses of making someone clean is in the past tense, pinaglinis. We added the prefix pinag to the root word linis. In the present tense, making someone clean, pinapaglinis. We add the prefix pinapag plus linis. In the future tense, will make someone clean, papaglinisin. So, we use the prefix papag plus the root word linis and then a suffix of in. And in the imperative form, to make someone clean, paglinisin. We use the prefix pag, the root word linis, and then a suffix of in. Let us look at that first sentence again. Let's expand it to give it more meaning. Jane made me clean my mess. Pinaglinis ako ni Jane ng kalat ko. My, ko. Mess, kalat. And nang is a connector to connect the object to the first part of the sentence. The format or pattern here is we start with the action word plus the doer of the action plus the cause of the action plus the object of the action. Let us look at some more example sentences. She made the children read. Pinagbasa niya ang mga bata. She, niya. Niya is a possessive form because she owns the cause. She is the cause. Made someone read. Pinagbasa. The, ang. Children, mga bata. She is making the children read. Pinapagbasa niya ang mga bata. Making someone read. Pinapagbasa. She will make the children read. Papagbasahin niya ang mga bata. Will make someone read. Papagbasahin. She plans to make them read. Balak niyang pagbasahin sila. Plans, balak. To make someone read. Pagbasahin. Did you notice the word niya has an added ng at the end? Balak niyang pagbasahin sila. We use that because it rolls better. It's easier for us to say balak niyang pagbasahin instead of balak niya pagbasahin. Let us look at that example showing the present tense of making someone clean. Jane is making me clean. Pinapaglinis ako ni Jane. There is another version that you can use. Pinaglilinis ako ni Jane. In Filipino, you can use pinapaglinis or pinaglilinis. It just depends on what's easier for you to use. Pinaglilinis is actually the formal version. Pinapaglinis is the common version. Here is another one. She is making the children read. Pinapagbasa niya ang mga bata. You can also say, pinagbabasa niya ang mga bata. Again, the version with the pink prefix is the formal way, and the version with the yellow prefix is the informal or common way. Here again is the previous set of sentences to show you how we use make in Filipino. If we want to use the word require instead of make, the Filipino versions will still be the same. Required to read, pinagbasa. Requiring someone to read, pinapagbasa. And will require to read, papagbasahin. And to require to read is pagbasahin. Let us look at that first sentence again. Whether we want to say she made the children read or she required the children to read, we still say pinagbasa niya ang mga bata. Let's expand it. She made the children read books. Pinagbasa niya ang mga bata ng mga libro. Books, mga libro. Ng is there as a connector. The format or pattern here is we start with the action word plus the cause of the action plus the doer of the action plus the object of the action. Let us do a quick side lesson about suffixes that we used. When we say to make someone clean, paglinisin. To make someone read, pagbasahin. You notice the difference in the suffixes? The first one has in and the second has hin. What is the rule to use here? When the verb ends with a consonant, such as S in linis, we use in as a suffix. When the word ends with a vowel, like basa, the letter A, we use hin as a suffix. Now let us look at the word force or pilit. I forced him to work. Pinilit ko siya na magtrabaho. I ko. Forced, pinilit. Him, siya. To work, magtrabaho. And na is the connector. I am forcing him to work. Pinipilit ko siya na magtrabaho. I am ko. Forcing, pinipilit. I will force him to work. Pipilitin ko siyang magtrabaho. Will force, pipilitin. Now take note of the word siya, which now has an ng attached to it. This is an alternate way of saying siya na magtrabaho, siyang magtrabaho. It just depends on what rolls easier for you. You can say siya na magtrabaho or siyang magtrabaho. Here's another one. I want to force him to work. Gusto ko siyang piliting magtrabaho. Want, gusto. To force, pilitin. And we added ag to make it piliting magtrabaho. It is also perfectly fine to say pilitin na magtrabaho. Now let us look at the conjugation or pagbanghay of the word force. Force, the root word is pilit. To form the past tense forced, we use the infix in. We put it in between the first two letters of the first syllable of the root word, plus the rest of the root word. So, p plus in plus ilit, pinilit. To form the present tense, forcing, what we do is, again, we use the first two letters of the first syllable of the root word. We insert the word in between these letters. So, p plus in plus I plus pilit, pinipilit. To form the future tense, will force, what we do is, we repeat the first two letters of the first syllable of the root word pilit. So, p plus pilit, plus we add a suffix of in, pipilitin. And to form the imperative, to force, we simply use the root word pilit plus the suffix in, pilitin. Going back to our example sentences using force or pilit, the context for using pilit in Filipino is when we are insisting that someone does an action. Force has another meaning in Filipino, and that is what we will look at next. Another word for force in Filipino is puwersa, puwersa. And the context in which we use puwersa is when we coerce or compel someone to do an action. I forced him to walk. Pinuwersa ko siya na maglakad. I ko. Forced, pinuwersa. Him, siya. To walk, maglakad. Again, na is a connector. I am forcing him to walk. Pinupuwersa ko siya na maglakad. I am ko. Forcing. Pinupuwersa. I will force him to walk. Pupuwersahin ko siyang maglakad. Will force, pupuwersahin. I want to force him to walk. Gusto ko siyang puwersahing maglakad. Want, gusto. To force, puwersahin. Again, take note the difference in using siya, na, or siyang is only your choice. Whether siya na maglakad or siyang maglakad is easier for you. Note too the use of G after puwersahin in the last sentence. Again, this just helps us roll the word better. It helps us say the word better. Puwersahing maglakad. So that is our lesson today, and I hope you found it useful. For your homework, write and talk about actions that you make, require, or force someone to do for you. Have fun! I hope you can join us again next time on Araw-Araw Filipino. Thank you. Salamat po. Now, a few words from my son, Max.
Thought this video was cool? Watch the next one and like and subscribe the channel too if you haven't yet.
Bye-bye!
Bye!